Hello everyone, and welcome to my Duel Today official news channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Eric finds Sloane behind on rent after Tate and Holly busted together. According to the Friday, April 5th spoilers for Days of Our Lives, Stephanie Johnson ran into Eric Brady and Sloane Peterson Brady while she and Jude Brady were in the bar. Eric hoped Stephanie found forgiveness as she provided updates on the entire Everett Lynch, aka Robert Stein, situation. Since you shouldn't condemn someone until you've walked a mile in their shoes, Sloane agreed. On Friday's episode of Days, Everett informed Chad DiMera and Leo Stark at The Spectator about Stephen DiMera's arrest for distributing drugs for Clyde Weston, James Reed. Everett questioned whether Chad would force him to conceal Stephen's involvement once more, but Chad insisted on posting the story and expressed regret for having previously covered for Stephen. When Stephanie arrived, she declared that although she would still be a client of The Spectator, she would now primarily be working with Chad. Rafe Hernandez was relieved about the miscommunication when Jada Hunter delivered her divorce decree to his office at the Salem Police Department during Friday's DOL show. But soon after, Sloane, Jada's attorney, arrived and claimed Bobby's signature was missing from the actual divorce papers that were submitted. Although Jada and Bobby were still legally wed, Sloane produced fresh divorce documents and proposed that they begin the process of divorcing as soon as possible. Everett saw Jada waiting at the pub with Rafe and Sloane after she immediately called him over. After learning of the divorce snag, Everett signed the revised documents, but Sloane noticed that he signed Everett Lynch rather than Bobby Stein's name. Even though he was under pressure to sign as Bobby, Everett refused, telling Jada she would have to find another means to get the divorce because he wasn't that man. Now that they were back together, Chad advised Stephanie to put Everett out of her life and allow him to find support from others. On Friday's episode of Days, Eric ran into Leo in the town center following an incredible sale at Saxton's. Leo made a suggestion that Eric might want to go shopping as well, but Eric said he was still working on his budget with Sloane. When Eric got home, he discovered a note from their landlord inside an envelope that was lying on the floor. When Eric saw that Sloane still hadn't paid the rent on the 5th of the month, he was shocked. At the townhouse, Tate Black received his father's advice to look forward and committed to seeing Brady Black at a baseball game shortly. Tate made it to the DiMera mansion and flung stones at Holly's window after pretending that he wanted to go out with his buddies once more. Holly was ecstatic to receive Tate's burner phone gift, which would enable them to stay in contact, when they first met outside. Tate and Holly liked the notion of spending time together at school even if they weren't excited to return. Following their kiss, Holly and Tate decided to go up to Holly's bedroom because it was private and they could hear the gardening crew working nearby. E.J. DiMera discussed with Nicole DiMera in the living room that the board was upset about Stephen's arrest drama and wanted him out of DiMera Enterprises. E.J. conceded that it was plausible that Nicole was wondering if Stephen was the reason behind Holly's drug use. However, since Stephen claimed that his brother was attempting to save Gabby Hernandez DiMera's life by working for Clyde, E.J. was willing to give Stephen a pass. Brady reminded E.J. that he expected a public apology and an admission of the DA's misconduct regarding Tate as soon as he barged in. After Nicole played peacemaker in Friday's episode of Days, E.J. shook Brady's hand and consented to the DA's office issuing a formal statement. Holly attempted to smuggle Tate in through the side door after Brady, Nicole, and E.J. left the room. When Brady came back and saw the two of them together, he insisted on finding out why Tate was there. Brady was shocked Tate even wanted to be around Holly after what she'd done, but he quickly made it apparent that Tate shouldn't be. Brady was unconvinced despite Tate's insistence that he had forgiven Holly. Nicole concurred with Brady, stating that Tate and Holly should avoid one another, at least for the time being. Tate and Holly objected, but they were told they could no longer hang around. We'll bring you more predictions on all of Holly and Tate's cunning schemes since spoilers for Days of Our Lives indicate that they will find ways to spend time together anyway. Teresa is cornered by Constantine, Maggie, and Julie's dynamic, and John's connection. Steve Johnson admits to it. Julie Williams and Maggie Horton Kiriakis catch up on events in Salem. Additionally, Teresa Donovan is cornered by Konstantin Meliunis. Monday, April 8, Th's John Black's connection. DOL spoilers indicate that John is still not at peace with himself after Katharina Meliunis' passing. John intends to discuss his stay in Bayview with Harris. John is aware that mind training and brainwashing also had an impact on Harris. John will thus consult Harris. John fears a resurgence of his old programming. John will thus be hoping Harris can calm him down a little. Maggie and Julie will make up on Monday, April 8. The two will discuss what happened in Salem. That may be the issue, because almost everyone was impacted in one way or another by Salem's drug crisis. That might also result in Julie discussing her relationship with Konstantin with Maggie. Maggie's feelings for Konstantin are beginning to soften. Steve Johnson and other people who don't trust Connie find this to be quite worrisome. According to Monday, April 8 Days of Our Lives spoilers, Konstantin corners Teresa. Teresa will have to provide Konstantin with an update on her marriage quest. Telling Konstantin that Teresa has been invited to move back in by Alex Kyriakis would give her some time. Teresa may choose not to discuss the specifics of the chat because they are somewhat intricate. That might be sufficient to remove Connie from Teresa's life until she finds a solution. Brady is missing Teresa, particularly since their reunion during Tate Black's assistance. Teresa wasn't flinging herself at Brady, to start with. Therefore, the absence and distance could make the heart grow fonder. Teresa and Alex share a romantic connection that is hampered by egotism and a phony relationship. Steve confesses to Kayla Johnson, Mary Beth Evans, in the interim. Steve might at last disclose to Kayla his involvement in James Reed's, Clyde Weston's escape. What narrative on Monday, April 8, 2024, are you most excited to see? Post your ideas in the space provided for comments below. Don't forget to keep watching Peacock Soap Opera to see what happens next. Although this week's aftermath has been pretty nice, I still believe that Holly disclosing the truth when everyone from the christening was still present would have been more combustible. Yes, EJ initially attempted to ignore Holly's revelation, but Nicole quickly put an end to it, and I was pleased with how everything turned out. Brady's barely contained wrath helped him to calm down with Elvis. Great move, Brady, and it was obvious how difficult it was for EJ to accept that he was mistaken. But Holly and Nicole's argument this week was a huge positive. I was excited about everything even though I had no idea how it would turn out. Nicole addressed it the way a parent should, pausing to consider what was best for Holly in a composed manner before determining on a course of action. After Holly lost her temper, therapy, then phone and car? Not to be friends, but for that is what parents are for. Regardless of how wild they were in their youth. Nicole.